I'll get it done this weekend. I might need a.
I worked on this room to make it. I'm gonna start. The background was just through everything.
No, those were good. Those were really good, actually. I think we'll be able to put this. Do we want to let Michelle look at that before it goes to print? I mean, I know she's on maternity leave, but is she like?
Do you want it to get printed fast?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay. I mean, she already knew what it looked like.
Yeah.
Unless there's like something important in there, yeah. I mean, do y'all have like a credit card to get things printed? Like, okay, because we're gonna go through dot print. Like, just set up.
Well, she wants to go with whoever Antoine, you're talking about for the visitors.
Yeah.
Card. She said Antoine had to connect.
It's like we'll check it. It's not gonna be any cheaper than dot print, but we'll see. It might be the same vendor.
Okay. Alrighty, we are ready to go.
Friday, February 2026, time 9 a.m., Hammond City Council Chambers. Can we get a verification of meeting days?
Yes, it was posted here at our office and online 24 hours in advance. John Exnicius.
Here.
Mary Gito. Here. Todd DeLon. Here. Kayla Morgan.
Here.
Brian Oliphant. Here. Evan Singer. Okay.
Do you have any amendments to the agenda to discuss?
No, we should be good. Amanda is gonna sit through our reports before she does her presentation, so.
Amanda. All right. So, next, let's go to the minutes for January 23rd.
This was our retreat, so they are just kind of consolidated.
Does anybody have any?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda from January 23rd.
Is anybody? Okay. All right. John Exnicius.
Yes.
Mary Gito.
Yes.
Todd DeLon.
Yes.
Evan Singer.
Yes.
Kayla Morgan.
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
All right. And then the.
Anything to point out on this financial plan?
Let me look at it. I don't know if there's anything that is really of note for this one. Let's see. I think we did get another, if I remember correctly, I think we did get another property tax check. But I can't remember if that was in January or if that was in December. I'd have to go back and look. But other than that, I don't think there's really too much to note on here.
Do you want to share
Yes. So David Donnell, who usually does our financial statements, he's having some health issues, so his office is closing. And we are going to go with Brian, I can't remember his last name, Elric, I think, at, I can pull up the thing. I've made a note of it down here. Yeah, James Britton Riggs, yeah.
A lot of the businesses now have migrated to that CPA firm. I think they also do the part of the city's books, so it's part of our books are connected to the city. So, we had a call with them last week, talked about migrating our record keeping from Danielle to them. We're waiting on the permit from them. So it's not finalized yet, but it's something we're working on. We got this financial statement from Danielle several weeks ago, and they said that it was the last one that we so we got to find one. We're working on it.
Yes.
And while Michelle's out, I guess you're going to kind of overview this for her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll work together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we had some one applications for some potential ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we met yesterday to discuss some of that stuff, so we're good on that. And then whoever wants to make the motion on this one.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the January financial statement.
I'll second.
Okay. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, next up, our staff reports.
I don't have too much on mine. I didn't type anything up. I will be going to the Main Street Now conference in Tulsa in April, so I've registered for that. I'll be driving, so because I want to have a car when I'm there. So I'll be renting a car for that as well. And it's just like a 3-day conference, so I'll be back on the Thursday after.
Not that drive.
Yeah, I like driving. I drive to my sister's in Austin, and that's similar, like amount of time, so I like doing that. But that's pretty much, I mean, other than that, we've just been kind of getting used to Michelle being out and getting everything handled while she's out, so.
Are you feeling,
Mhm.
that we're in transition and we're working on truck?
Yeah.
Are you feeling better
Yeah,
about
we are good with,
doing things?
we're good with Trep-wise. We have a standing bi-weekly meeting with them to keep up to date with everything, and we're,
So y'all, so the rest of the board knows, so Trustwise is a consulting firm that we hired through, we had a grant.
Mhm.
Or the grant was through Main Street.
yes, yeah.
And they're helping us, they handed our board retreat, and so they're also working on standard operating procedures manual, how the DVD is run, but also with the transition from while Michelle's out, and she went out early, so there's been a little bit of a lapse there in trying to transfer the information. But they have bi-weekly calls with staff, and then bi-weekly calls with me and John. So every week they're calling with somebody.
Yeah.
And they're setting up some good systems, they've got some good documents and spreadsheets with responsibility matrices and things, so everybody understands what the process is. Like, when you get a loan application, what happens? Who does step 1, 2, 3? So they're still working through all that, but it's,
And-
it'll be good for the future, it's just
Yeah.
muddling through it.
And I've been updating it since our last meeting with them, when I have time, just like kind of going in there and adding a few things that I am aware of and can add knowledge to. So we're keeping up with that. We're keeping in contact with them. Everything feels good right now, so we're good.
All right, next up on marketing committee.
Did Darren have a report?
Yeah.
I do, if you want to,
Is it on here? Is it?
yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it should be the
okay.
first
I would
one.
say look at it on your own, because I feel like normally when I'm going over these reports, sometimes I see y'all's eyes glass over a little bit because I'm just like telling you like numbers. But this is for December and January. I think the most pertinent thing coming out of here, honestly though, I forgot to grab the book, but it's Tangy Lifestyles. We had 3 big things in the latest issue of Tangy Lifestyles magazine, which was, they did their own thing on Susan's, and then me and Kayla and Michelle worked on a legacy business,
2-page spread.
2-page spread
Yeah.
in Tangy Lifestyles. That was on like Menino's, Paris Parker, Johnny's Downtown, PJ's, and who was the 5th one?
Topla.
Topla.
Yeah.
It's just about how long they'd all been in Hammond and them being legacy businesses and longstanding, and then the 2025 Best of Tangy winners.
Sure got a goodbye Mariners if you would have known about it.
Well,
I know. Yeah.
we only had so many spots, and
No.
those particular people don't get a lot of love, so it was strategic.
It was.
Yeah, good job, yeah.
That's pretty much it from me.
All right, Kayla?
So the marketing committee met 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks? And we went over a formal marketing plan, which I am finalizing that now. So it's really strategically set up for Dara to know what to implement. We have everything from print to radio to social media, working in a little bit of the farmers market marketing too, whom we had at our meeting as a guest person for my committee. We also went through assigning a little bit more defined roles for each committee member. We have 2 influencers on our committee, which we're super excited that we have. So we're going to start utilizing them for unique things for Hammond Live. So we have a plan together with that. Ashley Barato has a pretty extensive design background, so she's been helping me and Dara with wrapping up the brochure, which our goal is to get that to print next week. We're updating some photography. We have to get that back to Antoine's as a part of that Antoine's contract that we have, which I'm still kind of muddling through because Michelle, I was in the meetings, but she set it up. So I need to kind of see what else I can get them working on to kind of alleviate it from Dara. But we have a really good game plan. We've been looking at all the photography to kind of shift the focus on social media as well. So it was a great meeting. And then we have 2 Southeastern professors on our committee too that are going to help kind of bounce marketing strategy. So everybody will have like an assigned role for the most part, if that makes sense.
Abby?
Abby and then Terry Adams.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he has a pretty big following, yeah, so. Okay, that was it.
All right, design, Mary?
So design committee, we had a good meeting, we reviewed some, we had some design reviews, sidewalk, reimbursement, side grant reimbursements. One of the biggest things which we haven't in new business, we talk about when we get to the bottom, is we've had Heather with the historic district actually came to our last meeting. She had some concerns about some issues overstepping boundaries and things like that, that was not ever done intentionally. And so I have been working very hard to kind of mend the fences with the Historic District Commission, as well as with the city administration. And I'm actually making a concerted, we've started this infrastructure master plan. We've had the kickoff for that. We met with the mayor and city administrator to review that. And so I'm just trying to be a communicator and a collaborator and make sure all these people are on the same page and understand what it is we're trying to do, why we're trying to do it. Historic District Commission didn't know anything about the infrastructure master plan. They called the meetings, talk about redoing the sidewalk in front of the Crescent. And I was like, hold on, wait, that's part of the master plan. That's the first thing we're working on. So, you know, what I'm learning is there's a lot of information that is being done in silos and nobody knows what anybody else is doing. So I'm trying to figure out a way to open up the lines of communication and make sure everybody is on the same page. So I've been in a whole lot of meetings. Like I'm pretty much inserting myself going, I'll come sit in on that meeting just so I can hear and make sure that we all are on the same page. So it's been good. So with the infrastructure master plan, we're very excited about that. Hopefully that will have a draft to kind of present to this board. I think at the beginning of April is the plan for that. So, but that's been exciting. They've been assessing everything. They've been doing walking around town, looking at the lighting, looking at everything, streetscape, landscape, sidewalks, all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's been busy. But,
And then I guess another thing going forward is, one of the ideas is to have a historic commission.
yeah, we have that on the,
Gotcha.
that'll be under new
Gotcha.
business.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so it just a lot of coordination on the part of all parties.
All right, events.
Okay, yeah, events committee got together, we had a few absences, and I think probably half the meeting was really me just kind of acquainting myself with my committee. But we did kind of get to discussing a few things, primarily the Hammond Live events. We talked about sponsorship around that and trying to at least gain enough sponsorship to cover all costs with those events. And with that, we kind of opened the door, quickly changed up a little bit on the sponsorship package. We added sort of a lower tier package to try to get some of the smaller businesses in there. Kind of thinking more or less power numbers there. Trying to open up the door again. Maybe make it more feasible for some people to be involved with it. But yeah, with that, that was kind of largely what we talked about. We talked a little bit of preliminary on Hot August, and just again, I was really kind of soaking up information on the beginnings of that. Outside of that, that was really the gist of it. We really kind of pushed in on that sponsorship just as a whole, cross events, and just talking about kind of seeking sort of some bigger partners across town outside of the downtown district, getting all of Hammond involved on these events. And then, of course, just pushing into, we're all well connected within our committee, within this board, just really leaning into giving everyone in the organization here the proper material to help us get those sponsorships.
Good. All right, farmer's market. Main deal with farmer's market is, which we're going to have later on, is our nominations for the board members. So the other thing going on is just a temporary coordination of moving the farmer's market back to the railroad park and the parking lot for the chili cook-off, I believe.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of a coordination effort right now with that. Other than that, I don't know if there's anything else that
I don't think so.
I'm missing.
Are we good on logistically what needs to happen
To make
for
that
that
happen?
relocation? Yeah, is everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
so we've
I-
discovered,
As you said, I'm also trying to be a communicator, so I have.
Will you come on
submitted-
here?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. and you want to say the name, put on there for the record?
Adria Becknell, Farmers Market Manager. So as Mary said, I'm also trying to be a communicator, so I have submitted all the proper forms, documentation. I've also reached out to Charles and Chief Bergeron just to let them know, get it on their radar, because I have some small concerns about towing on the day of, since people have gotten used to using that as a parking lot again. So just kind of letting them know what my ideal plan was, soliciting feedback, asking if they have concerns. So I do think we've covered all of our bases on that. And I'm just really trying to, not cross boundaries, not step on any toes, and try to work with people.
So who's responsible for putting up the signage that says like no parking?
Well,
Is
that's
that us?
that's
It is, technically, it would be the city. So in my email, I did say, I don't have an issue. We can get yard signs printed. I can, line the perimeter of the parking lot with them this coming week, just to kind of get it on people's radar. So that's kind of why I wanted to reach out to the chief of what are the legalities? Are we allowed to do this? If not, what should we be doing? I have not gotten a response yet, but if I don't get a response, by Tuesday, I'll reach out again, just to make sure.
For this weekend?
It's not this weekend, it's next weekend, yeah. Mhm.
All right. Next up, residential committee.
Real simply, a few meetings back, we decided that we were going to take our budgeted funds and move them over to a pool so we can actually pay to have all of the street signs in downtown standardized. Because on one side of the tracks, we have a certain historic looking sign, and the other side of the tracks, we have a generic looking sign. So, but I will refer to Ashley,
Yeah.
because she's been spearheading communications, and can you let me know
Yes.
that process?
I have spoken to Charles and the mayor. They're fine with us changing the street signs, but they obviously suggested we discuss it with DOTD for along the highways. So I reached out I got a couple of contacts from Michelle when I spoke to her last week or the week before, whenever that was. And I emailed them this week. I haven't gotten a response yet, but I will follow up with them. I'll keep up with that and see, because I want to try and get those signs ordered. That's the only hang-up at this moment before we get them ordered. And then I'll just have to coordinate with the city, making sure they get put up once we have them. But I'm keeping up with that. And then for the wayfinding signs, I will be reaching out to ASI today to see if we can get like the editable file that we had for the current ones that are there, to see if we can just edit them in-house ourselves without having to get anybody else to do it, to change it to like our current branding and add a couple of things here and there. But that's where we are with it right now. So I'm keeping up with it, and we're good on that for now.
All right. All right, next up, old business. Status update of the infrastructure mesh.
Sorry, okay, so the status update is there, we had a kickoff meeting. We included the mayor and the administrator on that meeting. It went really well. They're working through the analysis and surveying right now, and we're hoping to have a draft. I'm talking to them on a regular basis, but we're hoping to have a draft, I think, at the beginning of April. And then, just to remind everybody, this entire thing will be done in July. We've pushed it. We didn't want the completion until July because we didn't have enough funds in this fiscal year to pay the full fee. So we stretched it out, so we'll pay the remainder for next fiscal year.
And then once that's done, it gets voted on by city council, right? As a complete, or do they have to do that? That's not necessary. Is that
I
up
don't
to
know
you?
if that requires council approval. We probably should.
Probably, I can check with Michelle, and see if she can give us some insight on that when she has a moment, but.
Well, speaking of that as well, so that was the other thing I was going to say, is talking about being a communicator. So our design committee agreed, like, okay, well, we can create this master plan all we want, but if the city administration isn't in on it, it doesn't have buy-in, it's never going to get done. So
Right.
I've been having private meetings with each of the mayoral candidates to explain it to them and tell them what the vision is and get their feedback and buy-in. So far, I've met with Lacey Landrum, who thought it was a great idea, and Carly Gonzalez, who as well said she was full support. So I'm working on scheduling meetings with Kip Andrews and Tracy Wells in the coming weeks to just let them know about it. So hopefully we're trying to lay the foundation so that when the new administration takes place and we're ready to go, we know Representative Mascarella is all for it, so we just need to get the city in and working with us and how we can really have some speed moving forward.
All right. Well, new business, Main Street self-assessment presentation by Amanda.
Yeah. Okay, didn't kick us off.
I'm Amanda Lanata. I'm Assistant Director for Louisiana Main Street, and I always love coming to Hammond, and it's good to hear about y'all's work. Okay, so Michelle and Ashley asked us to come and just share a little bit about the community assessment platform. And so there's a handout coming out, but this is just our annual assessment that our programs do to kind of see how you're doing. Y'all are doing great work. I have no concerns with y'all, but it just can maybe show how you're doing and maybe where there's room for improvement. And this platform, so Main Street America came out with this a couple years ago. I think this is our third year to do it. And I'm going to kind of go through just real briefly because we would love for y'all to be involved as part of the self-assessment process. So how it works is you'll go through the online system and you'll score yourself across 6 standards, the 6 accreditation standards. And based on your score, you'll either be nationally accredited, which is the highest tier, which y'all have been, I think, for several years. I didn't go all the way back, but the last several years, y'all have been nationally accredited. But if you don't meet those 6 standards, then you would be called an affiliate, which is meaning you're doing the work and you're working towards being accredited. So if you look on page 4, it discusses the grading system. So it's a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is where the work is not being addressed. 2, it says minimal work but needs more effort. So that would be kind of where you might have room for improvement. 3 is, they call it evidence of satisfactory progress. And what we say, if you're doing the work for that standard, that question, then you give yourself a 3. And then 4 would be achieve success. So that means you're going beyond. And then 5 is outstanding achievement. And that's what we say is like GAMSA level achievement, Great American Main Street level. So we always tell people if you give yourself all 5s, because we go in and review, like y'all do your self-assessment, and then we do our review, and if it's all 5s, we're going to be like, we're going to like score you down. But obviously y'all won GAMSA a couple years ago, so yeah, y'all are doing great work. So that's how the scoring works. And then if you flip the page, it goes over the baseline requirements, which is, they're listed out here. So it's things like having a board of directors, which y'all do, having a program director, transformation strategy. It's going to ask you to upload your work plans and your budget. So I think y'all shouldn't have any problem meeting those baseline requirements. And then the next page, which please stop me if you have questions. I was trying to keep it brief. The next page, I wanted to just discuss briefly the 6 standards. So as part of this new platform, we used to have 10 standards, now we have 6. So they're all listed out here. And for each of these standards, there's questions that you go through as part of the assessment where you would answer and give yourself that grade. So standard 1 is broad-based community commitment to revitalization. And this is going to ask you about your partnerships, your collaboration, your outreach, your marketing, communications, and public relations. So based on what I just heard, like, y'all are going to meet this standard. Number 2 is inclusive leadership and organizational capacity. So this is going to talk about your board, your staff, your volunteer pool, and your organizational structure, like bylaws and things like that. And one of the questions in here is that we do expect it to be a working board, which I was really impressed with y'all's reports. I can see that y'all are working, so thank you. That's we don't always see that. Okay, and number 3 is diverse funding and sustainable program operations. So this is going to ask you about your revenue mix. Do you have kind of a mix of revenues, fundraising? Does your budget align with your work plan? And then kind of financial management areas. Number 4 is strategy-driven programming. So this is going to ask about your transformation strategy, which I was looking, and I think y'all adopted one in 2020 was what we showed, so.
Yeah, I think we also adopted one last year. I don't know.
Okay.
It might have been basically the same as the one before.
Yeah, and I don't remember. So that's why we like having the board involved with this, because y'all may not know what your transformation strategy is, which is basically your economic development strategy. But we want to see that your programming is aligned with it so that we're all moving like in the same direction. Okay, number 5 is preservation-based economic development. So y'all were talking about the Historic District Commission. That, you can describe that work here, because I forgot to mention there's like a little comment area where if you want to describe what you're doing, that's in the platform. So this is just your commitment to historic preservation, having policies in place, and like the Historic District Commission, any education you do, supporting building owners like with historic tax credits, y'all's grant program, things like that. And then the last one is demonstrated impact and results. So this is all about advocating for the district and also tracking statistics. So each quarter we ask Michelle, and I guess now Ashley, to report the number of new businesses that came in your district for the previous quarter, the number of jobs, events that you had, the number of volunteer hours. So we track all of that, and we aggregate it at the statewide level across our 38 Main Street communities, because that helps us tell our story at the state level, but also at the local level, tell your story and the impact that you're making. So that's the 6 standards. The rest of this packet just goes through each of those standards, and they call them indicators. So that's the questions that you'll be answering in the self-assessment. So I'm not going to go through every single one, but I wanted to just leave this with you. What I do want to do is we are actually logged in to the platform right now, because it's an online platform. So I just wanted to kind of walk through and maybe look at the first one and kind of talk about it, because I know Michelle and Ashley want y'all to be involved in this process. And I don't know what that's going to look like, but.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll coordinate with y'all, because Michelle, when I talked to her, she said she had some things that she wanted to send y'all regarding this. I need to follow up with her and see if she has them if they're located in our drive, because I can just send them to you, because I know she hasn't done it yet. So we'll coordinate with this on this a little. I just wanted her to come and kind of give everybody the rundown a little bit.
Yeah, and so this is going to be due March 20th, so that's a month from now.
Yeah.
That y'all would need to go through and submit everything, and then we do our review, and then we send it to Main Street America. So we still have time, but not that much time. So this is the first screen. This is those baseline requirements that I mentioned, where you upload some documents. It asks for your transformation strategy, so we can kind of advance to the next page. And there's that notes section if you wanted to. Oh shoot! It's gonna make us. Oh no!
Womp womp.
Oh Oh, I'm
Can we-
so sorry.
Go back, because.
Can we just click yes?
Assessment?
Yeah.
So,
My-
each of us have to
yeah.
upload docs, or you're uploading all these docs and then we're going in and doing our own part?
I'll probably have to upload. I think
Yeah.
we probably have some of the files and stuff. I'll start an email thread with y'all after I get with Michelle. I'm gonna try and see if she
And how
can
accessible is
talk to you.
Michelle right now? 'Cause you don't wanna, like-
She's pretty accessible. She will respond to text messages and stuff like that. So I'll text her today and see if she responds. But and she sat in on our meeting, me and Evan's meeting yesterday, briefly. So, and it won't be something, it's just going to be basically me asking her, because I know she said she wanted to send y'all stuff. So it's really just going to be me asking her, do
I know
you still
we
want to
hear,
send
but
it, or
also
do
when
I
you-
need to send it?
Great.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
I'm trying to bother her as little as possible. So, but yeah, so this is the.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have tested this out more, but my plan was to just go through like one of the questions. But basically, the questions that are in your packet, the indicator, that's the question that's in the platform. So you would just read that indicator. So I guess let's just look at the paper. Let's look at the first one. So standard 1, focus area 1, indicator 1 is Main Street has developed partnerships and collaborations with local governments, nonprofit organizations, and private sector entities that demonstrate shared responsibilities for the district's revitalization and its program. So that's kind of the area that you're grading yourself on, and they provide in this packet some examples of like what that might look like. So you would just grade, are we meeting it? That would be a 3. If you think you're excelling, that might be a 4, and then you would just write in the little note box kind of the example of, okay, we're working, we're having all these meetings with the mayoral candidates, and we're doing this and going to council, any nonprofit collaborations. So the little text box is just where you can provide some more information. So that's kind of how it works. We have seen communities that actually like work on this during their board meetings, but I know, we don't have that much time. So however y'all want to kind of manage it, but it is one login for the platform. So that's just however y'all want to do that.
It'll probably look like what I imagine it'll look like is me mainly inputting the stuff, but I'll reach out to y'all if I have like specific questions about stuff that y'all can provide like a little maybe note about what y'all are doing or something like that, like regarding the board stuff. As
Yeah.
kind of how I'm seeing that working.
Yeah, and we like y'all to be involved so that y'all can see kind of what at the national level, like every Main Street community is supposed to be working on, because, well, y'all probably know it, but other communities, like, people don't know all the areas of the work. So yeah, thank y'all for looking at it. And did you have any questions, or? Yes, sir.
Is this our first submission of this nature?
No, this is the 3rd year that we've done this platform. So in the platform, you can actually go back and look at like 2023, I think was the first. So you can go back and look at past years. And before that, it was a different system.
Yeah, one
So-
more question. So you, after we grade ourselves, you're going to grade us based on what you think we graded ourselves?
Well, we look at what you scored, and based on like our knowledge, like me sitting in today, I'm going to grade y'all pretty high.
Yeah.
So it's our knowledge of working with the community, and we know kind of, okay, is this accurate or is it all 5s? And we're like, okay, we're going to kind of downgrade it.
Gotcha.
So we want y'all to be accredited. We're not trying to, be super strict, but we just kind of fact check it based on what we know and from working with y'all.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So thank you. Yeah, thank you.
All right, up next, we're going to talk about the appointment of the HFAM committee members. If you would like to come.
Yes.
on.
Yeah, so y'all can click on the link and it should bring you to the folder that has Adria's email to John that lists them all cleanly so you can see who is where. And then it also has her spreadsheet that she provided with the
So-
nominations.
oh,
No,
sorry.
you're good. Go ahead.
Adria back now. So during the nominations period, I logged every nomination that came in, who was nominated, who they were nominated by. as well as did we receive the materials that were asked for to complete the nomination. So based on that, my recommendations, really it was fairly cut and dry for me. In each category, there was someone who received more nominations than anybody else. Those people also submitted all the required materials, and they were as qualified, if not in some cases more, than some of the other nominees. So for the most part, the committee is not going to look radically different, but my recommendation would be for Fresh Flowers, Fruits, and Produce, Margaret Feckety of Joe Feckety Farms, who is currently in that seat. For Prepared Food, it would be Michelle Dinger of Omi's Kitchen, who, to my knowledge, I don't believe has served on the committee before. She's not currently on the committee. And then for Meat, Fish, and Dairy, it would be Damian Fowl of Rose Wagon Ranch, who also I don't believe has served on the committee.
And both of them have been very active.
And they are, yes.
To the committee meetings.
Both of them, they rarely, if ever, skip a meeting, so they are active vendors. Yes.
So is this, do you guys reappoint your entire committee every year?
We do, yes. So there are, the exception to that would be for the two customer seats. Those people, they are being reappointed. They have not served full terms because both of those seats were vacated during the course of a term. But typically, yes, we do. And then Denise Austin will take over for Artisan Crafts, which she's currently now the prepared food chair. She actually has two businesses at the farmer's market, so she can technically run for either. And then for the customer seat, we have Katie Taylor and Terry McGahey, who both currently do sit on the committee.
All right.
And
So, yeah.
So we just vote, and if you guys want, you can do it all as one.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can say, I kind of, just say, appoint the slate of HVAM committee members as recommended by the market manager.
That we appoint the slate of committee members for the Karen Farmers and Artisan Market as presented.
Yes. Okay. All right. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we also have on here approval guideline revision for the market raffle bag and giveaway. Can you talk about that, please?
Adria Becknell. So this revision, really, it's fairly simple. It's a lot of words, but really what it boils down to is for our market raffle bag that we do every month, as well as we did a promotional giveaway in conjunction with Starry Saturday. We now have specified, which it was not laid out in the guidelines before, that current employees of the market or within the past 2 years are not eligible to enter, as well as current employees of any vendors. And then there is some language saying that it is up to the vendor to notify their employees, because I, as market manager, don't know who everybody employs. So that's really what the revision boils down to, is that current employees of the market or vendors are not eligible to enter those giveaways.
Okay, so make a motion, I'll make a motion to approve the new guidelines.
Second.
Okay. Okay. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Next up. Facade grant.
Yes, so the design committee, I included the minute extract from their meeting from earlier this month. They reviewed this and approved it, so all the stuff that you need is in that folder if y'all want to review it before you vote.
And it's, just so y'all know a little background, it's basically 107 South Cherry Street, it's George Anthem, and pretty much they painted, it was more maintenance, they repainted and did touch-ups of the caulk, and there was some wood that was rotten, and so they repaired the wood.
Let's do.
So pretty much put it back as it was before, it was more repair work, that he's requesting the side grant, the cost of the work was $1,375, so he's requesting $687.50.
I'll go ahead and make a motion To approve.
Okay. All right, John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd Delon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
All right.
All right, next up, we're sidewalk reimbursement application for 207-211 West Morris Avenue, Georgetown Lofts.
So again, the design review committee reviewed this. This is the new George Spencer Rossi's development for Georgetown Lofts. We looked at the sidewalk design. We had a couple of comments just about the tree spacing to make sure it was aligned with the standard that's been going on downtown with the new sidewalks, and we felt that was acceptable, the amount. They do have a certificate of appropriateness from
Yes.
the historic district.
And just a note, I did follow up with him and tell him, you know, how this is going to go after that meeting. And I asked if he had any changes to that cost, and he hasn't. I told him if he did, to let me know before today, and he hasn't said anything about the price changes. Yeah, is what we're going to go with.
Okay, so it was, I'm trying to find the amount.
It's down at it should be at the bottom. It's on our sidewalk reimbursement application. It's $71,850. It's a part of the COA document. It's just down at the very end.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's a large area. And so, yeah, the total cost was 71, the total cost or all?
Just, that's for the total cost for the sidewalk specifically.
$71,850. So the grant from the DDD would be a third of that. So the city pays a third, the owner pays a third, and the DDD would pay a third.
And this,
Is that-
Are they planting the trees there in the sidewalk?
Yes, so it was approved
Yes.
with the modification.
And I
It
s-
looked like there's a small amount of space.
yeah. I sent him also the minute extracts from that meeting as well, so he can be reminded of what Roy specified in his motion. So he's aware of all of that, and
They're not going to do any more grading around the trees because that's been causing an issue. So that also maybe might look smaller, that those grades have caused an issue all over downtown. And so the city had asked, and our landscape architect agreed, like, let's just get rid of the grading, so maybe why it seems smaller.
yeah. And, oh, I was going to say something
And
else.
this would be paid out.
That's
until
right.
It is complete.
Yeah. So I don't believe, yeah, I think this wouldn't need to be paid out until next fiscal
So
year.
it'll be next fiscal year. Since, remember, we took the money we had left budgeted for those grants this year, we took to pay one of the consultants for the infrastructure master plan. So this would be in next fiscal year's budget.
Yes.
All right, can I get a motion on the table to approve?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion, can I make a motion?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the sidewalk reimbursement grant.
I'll second.
Okay. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd Delon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes. All right, back to, again, design review committee, Mary, talking about historic commission communication and coordination.
Yeah, so, in light of all the lovely fun we've been having with just realizing that no one's communicating with each other, I have a suggestion, and I wanted to bring it before this board before, taking any action, but, I would like to suggest that the Historic District Commission always has one architect on that board. No one else there is a designer or architect, which our design review committee is full of. It's 3 architects, a landscape architects, 2 interior designers, and 2 contractors. There's one. I think their rules state they have to have 1 architect. Now, they could probably have more, but they only have 1. So, I would like to recommend, I've spoken to the architect who's in that position. I would like to recommend that we state that the DDD Design Review Committee, that architect from the Historic District Commission is a member of the DDD Design Review Committee. That would help those lines of communication because that person is going to be sitting in both meetings. So when things like the Morrison Alley parking lot come up and
Right.
we're talking about it and we don't know what the Historic District has done, which is we're not in the meetings, this person would kind of be the connector. Michael Holly is the current architect on that committee. I spoke to him and I said, surely you don't want to sit in on 2 meetings. And he said, actually, I would not mind if it'll help bridge the gap. So I just wanted to talk to y'all about that and see if y'all would be okay with that. I'm not exactly sure.
Y'all would have to vote to approve him being appointed to the committee, yes.
Do that next, can we do that? Can we amend the agenda next?
Well, we have it, I mean, it's an item.
Yeah, it's an item, so I don't think you need to amend. It would just be, somebody would have to make a motion to appoint Michael Hawley to the design
Question
committee.
about that, from, which I can take back to the historic commission or we can talk about it, but on our end, we probably need to make it some type of requirement that whoever the incoming architect is always going to be on that committee.
Correct, that's what I'm saying, I think we need to state it that it's, that position is always on this committee, not necessarily Michael Howell.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just that
Okay,
the
yeah.
architect, the historic district commission, architects committee member would always be a member of the DVD design
But
review.
the historic commission isn't also that makes it a little bit.
Oh, but they would, yes, they
Yeah,
would
because
too.
it's okay to say that you want that.
Correct. Well,
But we're gonna need to.
maybe for now, we at least ask him, for now, if we could get him on the committee
Right.
currently, and then we can work with the historic, you're on the
Yeah,
historic
yeah,
district
of course.
commission to see if y'all want to make that a rule, and if not, then maybe we just do it on a year-later basis.
As a recommendation.
As a recommendation,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that, and he already spoke to Heather, who's the director or coordinator for the historic district, she thought it was a good idea. So, yeah, I think we'd have to figure out how to handle it moving forward, but for now, I would like to go ahead and ask him to be on our design review committee so we can start, smoothing the waters.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that the DDD Design Review Committee designates a position for the architect from the Historic Commission to be on their board.
I'll second.
All right. 1 second, sorry. John Exnicius,
Yes.
Mary Gito,
Yes.
Todd DeLon,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Kayla Morgan,
Yes.
Ryan Oliphant.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, next up, for our merchant meetings, wanting to consider quarterly merchant meetings?
Yes, so basically, rather than necessarily having like a merchant committee, we still want to make sure our merchants have some say in the things that we do in our events and things like that. So something that we talked about with Michelle before she went on maternity leave was basically having like quarterly meetings where we invite all of our downtown merchants to like be a part of the discussion. We have like specific things to talk about, like when our events are coming up and things like that. And then just invite all of them to attend that meeting instead of having like monthly committee meetings.
Okay.
So what do y'all think about that is basically what this is.
I think it more thought into that it was kind of open when I walked in. It's something that I would really like to see happen at the end of the day. I think there's a lot of miscommunication and a disconnect between the merchants and, quite honestly, all of the entities that handle from the historic district to this board. I've talked to a few recently in between coming onto this board and now, and that's largely what I've gathered. And I think honestly, a lot of it, again, is just simple, let's get everybody in a room to talk. I mean, of course, there's going to be grievances, but beyond that, how do we come together on it at the end of the day, right? And I think that for what it's worth, I think the merchants, in large part, don't necessarily feel like they've been included completely in the conversations.
And the other thing I find just with merchants is like, they're working in their
Well,
business.
and that's the truth of
So
it,
it's
right?
just tough for them to
Right.
get to these meetings or be involved, so getting that participation or creating an environment where they can participate.
Well, this is something that, again, like being on the board now, I've been trying to kind of, I guess, be more of a liaison in that area for us, and trying to gather information with, me being a merchant, right, in the district. So I'm experiencing it firsthand myself. So again, I think it's something very important. It's important to me, and I really think that it would be very beneficial overall to the city. And I think that we really kind of need to think of ways. I know this is kind of, we're scaling back from the committee and going through this quarterly thing, but we do need to think of ways to really kind of integrate the merchants more than that.
Maybe that quarterly meeting is a bigger meeting, and maybe that includes a representative from the city and a representative from the historic district.
Right.
And maybe the DD is facilitating the meeting.
Because that's what, I mean, sort of, not to cut you off, this kind of, you bringing, you know, the architect across lines, right? That's sort of the thinking I've been in with this merchant committee, is how do we bring the merchant committee across lines to, you know, I feel honestly like the merchants need to be represented at the historic district every meeting, same thing here, right? And I think, again, that's sort of the big issue around the grievances, right? So I really think that we should make some strides there and really try to put together. Like you said, if this meeting kind of spurs something bigger, I think that would be the goal of it. Obviously, I think that first meeting, we're going to get a lot of kickback from just the length of time between the last time they talked to us and now.
Well, I think that the key to that is you have an agenda.
I was going to say,
with
yeah.
time limits.
Yeah.
And you stick, and this is because if it's a 3-hour meeting, then everybody's gonna just be
Right.
in a bad mood.
Well, my question would be, is once you have that big meeting, would it be a good move to try and get a participant, choosing one person that's able to be the point person that they go to? One of them goes to the once a month BDD
Yeah.
meeting, one of them goes to the once a month historic meeting. That way they can be the point person for the merchants to facilitate any information that's pertinent for
Right.
the guys, right?
Yeah.
So maybe almost getting like designated committee members to be the
Yeah, to help us
the
out.
liaison,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, I think that's beneficial overall. Again, from the handful that I've talked to, you know, personally speaking, right, like I came here and I invested here because I want to be here and I want this district to be what it is, right? And all the merchants feel the same way. You know, they share the vision that we have. Again, we're just, like you said, everybody's sort of in their own wings, it seems like, in the city right now. And again, coming into it here recently, in my younger age, compared to some of my peers, it's very apparent, you know? And that's something that, again, I've grown more excited to kind of be a part of since coming onto this board, so.
Do you have an idea of dates when you want this first one to be?
You know, we're, halfway through the first quarter right now. What does March look like for us? Is there?
Let me pull up
end of
my,
March, per se?
the end of March would probably be, not the 26th or the 27th, because we have the preservation conference on those days. But we could probably make something work for the end of March. April is a little bit tougher, because I know that Dara will be out at the beginning for a certain period, and then I'll be out in the middle for the conference, the Main Street Now conference, and then we'll have our board meeting. So either end of March or end of April would be.
Yes, our fiscal year, we're mid-year, right, like June, right?
Mhm.
Maybe it would be more pertinent for us to start before the meetings.
Like at the beginning of the next fiscal year.
At the beginning of that
Yeah.
fiscal
Yeah.
year.
I definitely think a couple
Long
months.
way out.
Yeah.
No, it's a little bit longer. I mean, the other option maybe is in the second quarter, just kind of skipping this quarter and going into the second quarter. You said April's a little tight.
April's a little tight, but we can make the end of April work. Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, let's do that then.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll also email our current standing merchant committee and see and just let them know what we are discussing and stuff, and then we'll try and coordinate something.
That would also be a good time when we could make a quick presentation on this infrastructure master plan. You should have something. Hey, this is the vision, this is what the long-term plan would be, this is what your streetscape could look like.
Right.
And just to make sure everybody's aware.
And then my other question is, what is going to be the plan to push to, we got a lot of merchants to get their participation, to make sure that they know to come to this meeting, that this is going to kind of be, especially for the first one, to have an understanding of how this goes. And I think it's important that when they're there, we do create a lot of value so that they realize, I need to show up to the next one.
Yeah.
I think on that agenda, I know we might be opening up a can of worms, but we need to have a block on there of, hey, come talk to us, tell us what you're experiencing. Like, really encourage them to, you know, not that we're gonna be stuck in, I hate to say it, but just stuck on like an agenda where it's just this bureaucratic thing, right? Where we can only talk about this one subject, you know. Yes, we want to stay in time limits, but we kind of need to give them an open forum, I feel like.
Mhm.
And we need to kind of just let them let them,
Yeah.
vent, right?
So what-
And also, as far as outreach, I know you asked about that, John. We have a merchant newsletter, so I would definitely put it in there. And then we also have a running directory where we have a lot of emails from business owners. So I would probably send a separate email as well, just to kind of make sure.
Do we think the current merchant committee that we could designate,
That's what I was.
get each a group of people that they should call or contact
Yeah.
personally?
And let them know the,
Value bookstores.
yeah, Leanne and Aaron.
With it, so that, those guys would be probably real good to get
Yeah.
involved in
Yeah.
reaching out to. They already have the connection, of course, that I don't have, right? So I think involving, the current community.
And what time of the day would be the best time?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Considering
ask.
people's businesses, so you've got,
That's-
like, your night is bad for you, but like, the early, would like 8 in the morning be better for some, maybe people aren't open yet?
That's,
I don't know.
I mean, typically for me, early in the morning, early in the week is better for me. I mean, again, that's something maybe we'll have to get a little bit of feedback. Maybe, again, the current committee has already gotten that feedback, So maybe, does the current committee, do they still think they are?
Yeah, we haven't disbanded the committee. We haven't met, so they're probably a little,
Maybe meet with them
yeah.
first before we
I
do
can-
the other meeting.
I'll email them today, and I'll see if Chance can maybe give me their phone numbers, because I know he had a running text, thread with them as well. So I'll text him and see if I can individually text them. No, yeah. I want to prepare them. I'll let them know what we talked about here, and then see if we can set up a meeting prior to that April meeting and see what they think about it and get their
Probably for
opinions.
late March.
Yeah.
Meet with them.
Yeah.
And this really isn't a voting point, I wouldn't imagine. It's really your decision on how you're meeting. We're just kind of saying that's a good idea. I mean, we're still having a merchant committee per se, we're just not meeting.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's what,
So, I mean, I'm on board as long as it's done well, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
And maybe on the open forum, just put it,
limits.
like 3 minutes, like the council.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so.
And can we make sure too, because I feel like this happens a lot, like most of complaints come from merchants, whether it's about marketing or it's about the farmer's market. So we've always had a pretty open dialogue that you can attend a marketing committee, you can attend a farmer's market committee. So I think this committee, that committee in particular, really needs to voice that to the other merchants, because our meetings are all open. Like, they're posted, we invite guests, we had the farmer's market at our last marketing meeting, I think she enjoyed it, we gave her advice. I mean, she's an intern, but she won't be there forever, but she learned some things. So we're willing to kind of all work amongst ourselves. I think that committee could maybe be a catalyst to
And that's
make that
why-
happen.
And that's why I think it would be important, in my opinion, especially since I think it's a catch-22, because they are in their businesses and they are
Yeah.
working and not able to come to everything, so
I think that's a part of it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So if those committed committee members, each one could be committed to come, one could be the farmer's market person that goes to the once-a-month meeting for that, one could be the whatever.
And
So
if they
they're
can't, they
involved.
can't,
They're
yeah.
they're point
And they,
persons.
yeah, they may not be able to, because we meet once a month, so they may not be able to do it all the time, but I think it'd be a great thing for them to have input on, because
Right.
obviously, we do things that affect the merchants. I mean, that's a big part of the marketing committee. We worry about everyone. We have to worry about the legacy businesses. We have to worry about the newer businesses. How do we promote them? Like, we're trying to drive traffic into the doors, so.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great idea.
Okay.
All right, next up, walkthrough of the work plan spreadsheet from Trepwise. So we have been on calls with Trepwise. They've been getting stuff together in a pinch. And, I'll let you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know if everybody was sent this, so I can send it to everybody after this meeting. I know that Mary and John I believe, have access to it. It's an open, everybody should be able to edit it once you have the link to it, but it just kind of has some of our important dates in this tab for y'all to be aware of, some of our priorities for this year, and then each, our board, and then each committee has a tab for running things like agenda items and then running action items that we have going on, coming up everything like that. So it kind of has the activity, the notes, when it's due, who's responsible for doing the work, who's going to be accountable for ensuring its success, who's going to be consulted, and then who's going to be informed about it. And then there's like a little drop down for each item to choose, like, is this item planned? Is it in progress? Is it in the idea stage? Is it complete, paused, or deprioritized? So y'all can edit this and use it. Even if you don't necessarily want to edit it, you can just have it to look at what we have going on.
Okay, so let me ask you that question. So we don't want to individually edit this stuff.
But if
right?
you have input, like if your committee, if you know there's more information on your committee.
Right.
You can add it
Exactly.
on that.
Or if you have a specific action item that you're working on that you want included in it, you can include it in there. Stuff like that. Dara and I have been using it for our stuff. So that's really, Trepwise wanted us to kind of like inform y'all of it and give y'all a little bit of a rundown on it, so y'all are aware.
First, it's described as a parking lot for
Yeah.
Yeah.
ideas and pointing.
Yeah.
Like, basically, the marketing one has everything we talked about in our last marketing meeting, where we assigned all the roles and who was going to be doing what. So it's actually a great thing, a resource for all of us.
So who's going in and doing that? Are you the one like doing it for marketing? You're the
No,
one?
they did it in the meeting,
been doing
so,
I did it for design.
Yeah.
I went in and added stuff that
Yeah.
I needed to that.
Yeah.
but it gave us
So,
objectives of what
It's
to
a
look for.
resource for all of us. We aren't opening it up for committee members. It's really just staff and board. Because we don't want too many hands. But I will send it to all of y'all if y'all don't already have access to it. to be able
Resend
to
it,
look at
please.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a to-do list, basically,
Yeah.
which I think is great, so, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Louisiana Main Street, for all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
And that's everything for us, so.
That. Yeah, up and then go out, or just go out for that.
You gotta go back to the back arrow at the top.
I'm not
This
Canadian.
one, this
Oh, okay. Because I see you first time also. All right. Any announcements? Do we have any announcements?
Nope.
No, I just would like to say that Ashley and Dara are doing a really great job. I've been impressed with the communication, the follow-through. They're really taking ownership, so I'm really
I
impressed,
really
so.
think this is a great opportunity for y'all to dig in and, I mean, no
Yeah.
better way to grow and learn than you have to learn by fire.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
that-
Sink or swim.
Very amazing job, and you as well, all of the
You're doing good.
all that coordinating and you're doing amazing. So it's really awesome.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Yeah.
My announcement is please come to Hammond Live on March 6th. I'm really,
Yes.
really excited for it. We're going to have Phase Band, who played at Hot August, and the Lily Lewis Project, who, if you don't know, she has toured Europe. She's played Jazz Fest. She's from New Orleans, and she hasn't played Hammond in 15 years.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
So
Yeah,
come check it out. It'll be a fun night of
Yeah,
jam
what night is that?
band.
What night?
What's
March
that?
What is
6th.
it?
March
6th.
6th.
March
It's a
6th.
Friday. It starts at 5:30. That's when Phase Band will play. And then around 6:30, 6:45, the Lily Lewis Project will start. We'll have binnies. Our moms will be out there bending food. We're working on getting other downtown restaurants to join us. So
This will be fun.
it'll be a fun little 2.5-hour
And,
evening.
and just so you know, Ryan, for your committee, we're working with one of our influencers on our committee to do like a whole event type piece for Hammond Live, so we can promote those better in the future as well and make them more
We
exciting.
also have an ad going out next week for
Yeah.
it.
Sweet.
perfect.
All right, any public comments? Any comments from public? All right, well, then I'm going to call an adjourned meeting.
Perfect.
We did that in an hour and 4 minutes. That's really
I was
impressive.
trying to make sure we timed it good.
Can I ask you something really quick, Mary, really quick? Something I had talked to Michelle about.